listening to the legendary podcaster, the one, the only T-Jam D. Your personal favorite, and the show you've been waiting for. Probably offensive.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Probably Offensive. I know that we have not done shows in a little while. For those of you who have listened to this podcast, once again, I gotta come back after a hiatus and say I'm sorry we have not been doing shows. Me and my broadcasting partner, who is not here tonight, our schedules have not meshed as of late. But I'll say again, I'm gonna try to do a show at least once a week. I thought I would be able to do more than one show a week, but so far it has not happened. Stay with us if you're listening to this podcast, and I'll get it together. I promise, at some time in the future, if I have any listeners left by that time. But if I don't, I'll still do it. So let's get on with it. Like I've said before many times, I used to like starting off the show with COVID news, but I don't do that anymore because actually when I was doing the COVID news, I thought we would be through the pandemic by now. Now we've got two variants, Delta and Omicron, and there's no end in sight, really. I know some people don't even believe there is a pandemic. They think COVID is all made up. I heard some jackass say that this is the flu. This is not the flu. But nevertheless, I'm not going to do a whole hell of a lot of talking about COVID, the numbers, the vaccine, which some people think kills more people than COVID, which is nonsensical. It's not true, but that doesn't stop people from saying it, from going around spreading it. But I'm not going to argue about it with people anymore. I just don't give a damn about arguing about the vaccine. I'm not vaccinated. The reason I'm not vaccinated, and you say, why do you argue for the vaccine if you're not vaccinated? Because I argue for the vaccine because a lot of people act like it's some type of government plot to kill everybody. It's some nefarious plot by Dr. Fauci and Bill Gates to kill everybody, which is completely ridiculous and just not true. The reason I myself have not been vaccinated, the truth about the matter is the vaccine just hasn't been around long enough. Okay? I'd like to see them work out the kinks in the vaccine. There's some adverse reactions to the vaccine, and I just like to see them work that stuff out before I take it. Maybe I might not have to. I might have enough antibodies built up in my system from just being around COVID for the last 2 years that I might not need to, but we'll see. But that's the only reason that I myself have not yet been vaccinated. I'm not saying I won't get vaccinated in the future. I haven't been vaccinated yet, though. But it's not because of some nefarious government, Bill Gates, Dr. Fauci plan to kill everybody. Dun dun! No, it's simply because science. The vaccine has not been in existence long enough for them to work out the kinks and get rid of the whatever is causing adverse reactions. And they do this with every vaccine. Every vaccine we've ever had, they keep working on it, and it kills less people, and less people, and less people have adverse reactions. That's what's going to happen with this vaccine. The scientists will keep working on it, and it'll get better. That's what's going to happen. That's what happens. I know there's more there's more conspiracy theories of it being some nefarious plan by the government, Dr. Fauci and Bill Gates, to kill everybody so we can have population control, just like what Thanos was trying to do. But that's just not true. The government doesn't want to kill everybody. The Chinese government doesn't want to kill everybody. If the Chinese government wanted to kill somebody, they would only just want to kill us in America. Okay, that's a country with 1 billion people in it, and it's a communist country. So they'd only want to kill the Americans, probably, maybe Russians. But we'll see what happens. That's just my speculation. That, I don't have anything to back that up, except for China kills their own people and tortures their own people because they feel, we got 1 billion people, so we got plenty of people to kill and torture. Let's practice it up and get it right for the Americans. But anyway, I digress from what I'm talking about. I started off saying that, I wasn't going to report on COVID. I wasn't going to tell you how many people have died, like I used to say, count and counting. Because there's such an argument about how many people actually have died from COVID that I don't really want to argue about it. A lot of people have died. Okay. But for the most part, it's been old people and people with a compromised immune system. If they were young and they died, it's because they had a compromised immune system. You don't hear too many cases of people dying from COVID and they were totally fine. They were in their 20s or 30s, teenagers, or 40s or 50s, whatever. It's usually people, in their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, or some young people who have, like I said, a compromised immune system. But we're still in the pandemic, okay? So build your immune system, take some zinc. And by the way, I was listening to, this has been a few weeks ago, I was listening to a radio show. Radio show shall remain nameless, even though they probably don't care if I mention them. And the host of the show was talking about vitamins and how they don't do anything for you. And I was listening to it thinking that's not true at all. Because he said he's seen this documentary about vitamins and how they don't do anything for you. That's not true. Vitamins and minerals do something for you. People eat fruits and vegetables. They have vitamins and minerals in the fruits and vegetables, and they do something for you. Now, if you're just saying the pills don't do anything for you, that's back when they had the hard pills that it was hard for your body to absorb. Now they make vitamins and minerals in the gummies. They make them in powder. They make them in liquid. It's easy for you to absorb. And it is proven that zinc kills viruses. You just got to keep the zinc in your system, because once it's out, obviously if it's not in your system anymore, it's not killing any viruses. But if you keep taking zinc, it does kill viruses. That's a fact. So get your vitamins and your supplements in a gummy or a liquid powder that you can sprinkle in your water or something, and keep taking them. Yeah, don't believe the hype. Vitamins do work, and they do good for your body. Now let's get around to a few subjects on a lighter note. And that being, first off, before I get to that, I gotta say that because I usually do report at the top of the show on death of famous people that most people would know who I'm talking about. And Bishop Desmond Tutu died. Now, a lot of you won't know who he is because he was 90 years old. But he was a very famous African religious leader. He was a bishop in the church. And he had met with many leaders of state and, presidents and kings and around the globe. He met with Obama, Clinton, Bush, Reagan. The guy was 90 years old, so he goes back a long way. But he was a bishop. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a certain position in the church. I'm not exactly sure, about the titles in the church. How do you get to be a bishop? But that's what this guy was, and he was a very famous, popular peacekeeper in Africa. And Desmond Tutu has passed away at 90 years old. So, condolences to the friends and family and anyone who cared and knew who Desmond Tutu was. Now, I haven't heard of any other celebrity deaths as of late. I probably have missed some because, like I said, we haven't done the show in 3 weeks or better. So I'll get around to anything that I've missed and talk about it. And I don't know when I'll be back with T. Crow, my broadcasting partner. But I'm sure we'll get back together and do some shows. And it will be exciting and put you right on the edge. It's Christmas season. And actually Christmas is over. Today is the 27th. So it's 2 days. Well, it's the 26th today. Technically, it's the 27th because right now it's pretty late. It's after midnight, so. But this was Sunday. A lot of football being played today. The Steelers losing to Kansas City. I was watching a little bit of that game earlier. I had to mention that because my broadcasting partner, T. Crow, is a big Steeler fan. So I take every opportunity to mention when the Steelers lose. I don't say anything when they win. Just sort of ignore their existence when they win. But I have to bring it up or put a message out on Facebook saying that whatever team that they was beaten by was busting monkey ass. I find it quite comical myself. I'm sure a lot of my buddies that I grew up with who are big Steelers fans. I grew up with a lot of people who are Steelers fans, so these guys probably don't appreciate it. But that's, all in the name of good fun. I'm a Cowboy fan myself. So the Cowboys are looking pretty good right now. Just right now.